Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. If you are new to Mommy Trader, welcome. And if you are a returning investy bestie, thank you so much for coming back. I do appreciate all of you guys being here. We are a family of 5 and we plan on achieving something called FIRE, which is financial independence, retire early in almost 5 years with a $3 million net worth. And we just recently achieved $1 million status back in August. So if that sounds interesting to you, you want to know more about beginner friendly investing tips and advice, you want to see our real numbers inside of our zillion investment accounts, it's actually 12. Then subscribe to the channel, like the video, and join us. We're very open around here, and I think you will actually find some value in this content. So let's talk about some of our financial fails. And I really wanted to do this video because I feel like in the age of social media, you get this presentation of everything is right, everything is perfect, life is going well, especially when it comes to our money. And let me just tell y'all, that ain't the truth. And yes, I said ain't. It ain't the truth. Life happens sometime. Life be lifing, as Rochelle says. And sometimes we don't make the best decisions. Sometimes we don't make the best choices with our money, and it haunts us for some time. And I wanted to share some of the financial fails that my husband and myself have had, and hopefully it can inspire some of you to not make the same mistakes. And you can share down below at some of your financial fails to encourage other members in our community to not do those things. Because sometimes, if we really testify and talk about some of the things we've done, it could really help other people. And so again, guys, I hope that you guys enjoy this video because it's going to get real. Okay, so the first thing we did, and I have my notes because you already know. So the first thing we did is blindly follow others. And this is something I talk about on my channel a lot. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a fiduciary, but I do wholeheartedly believe in sharing financial knowledge and exposing people to what their money can. But one of the things that we did when we first started on our FIRE journey, for example, was, and I talked to you guys about this too, we love our rich journey, but when we first discovered them, we were literally setting up our accounts like they were setting up theirs. And they weren't giving out bad advice. They actually give a lot of great gems in their videos. But the point is that we just didn't know. And I always say, you should be a knowledgeable investor. I just did a video recently talking about some ways where you can find and research company. I'll have it on the screen. So take a look at that video. It's very beginner friendly, and I think it'll help you guys understand why it's so important to do your own research. Trivia time coming up on the screen. Can you tell me in a couple of words, a small, simple sentence, it doesn't need to be something so long, what an index fund is? Now, we talked about that a couple of times on this channel. Tell me what an index fund is. Okay, that's your trivia question for the day, to make sure you guys, doing your research, your investing besties. I'm going to be on y'all because I want to make sure that you become the best you can be with your money. Though I will say Apple and VTI are both awesome securities, but it's also great to know a little bit about what you're investing in. You don't have to know so much where you have to write a dissertation, but you should know a little bit about investing in general. So answer that question. Don't look it up. We're on the honor system here. Tell me very simply, a couple words, one sentence, what an index fund is. Moving on to the second thing that we did, the financial fail. This was me cashing in a 401k at 23. Now, you guys, listen, I was young, I was turned up, and you already know when you're young, you're not really thinking clearly. You don't have any insight, no wisdom, or not that much anyway. And so you're just thinking about the here and now. And that 401k was about $5,300. And I wasn't thinking about, okay, you got to pay taxes. You got to pay a penalty on it because you took it out early. So I really didn't get $5,300. I got like $3,900. And I had to take that out because I was behind on rent a couple of months. And the reason why I was behind on rent was because I was going out, partying, hanging out, buying clothes, buying shoes. See, this could have been avoided. And I often think about what that $5,300, if I didn't put not another penny into it, what it would be now at 37 years old. And and I know people have to withdraw from their 401ks for any type of reason. Life happens sometimes. Sicknesses happens and you need to access that money. But in my case, and in most people's cases, they pull out from their retirement early because of just bad financial habits. And that was a big financial fail for me. And I, sometimes I wish I can go back and just but I can't. I have to forgive myself, learn from the error and move on. And that's why I'm on this channel. That's why I'm building up MT and my brand, and just personally it's passionate for me to help you guys not to make the same mistakes. But you won't know what those mistakes are if we don't share them, if we don't kind of make this topic of money more realistic and more relatable to others. So yes, we did. Well, I say we because I always talk about me and my husband, but cashed out the 401k with that $5,300 could have been at 37. Moving on to cash advance. Now let me tell y'all, this thing is the devil. Now, I was in my 20s again, and on your credit cards, you have the ability to take out actual cash from your credit card. I would suggest you do not do this. First of all, the interest rate is criminal, okay? If you take out a cash advance, I was paying 30%, sometimes 35% to access that cash, and then I was just paying the minimum payment back. So interest was just compounding negatively. Now remember, when you invest, compound interest is on your side, but when you take out things like cash advance, it works against you like some monster, okay? And I would constantly go back to the machine, take $100 out here, take $200 out there, not realizing I'm paying 30%, 35% to access this money. Again, if I was just budgeting my money better, I made enough. So if I was just being a better manager of my money, I wouldn't have needed to resort it to that. But I have used cash advance and payday loans, and that is like the crumb of the crumb. Like, if you don't have, like, if I had to make a choice, and again, this is not financial advice, I would take money out of my 401k versus get a payday loan. It literally is a cycle that you do not want to be in. It's literally a step above being a loan shark. And so took cash advances out, and I never want to go back to that again, and I suggest you do not either. The next thing that we did was not really understanding short-term capital gains tax and long-term capital gains tax. So when you start investing, okay, now this is very important, and I see that a lot of people online, especially with the meme trading and things like that, are going to really be in for a rude awakening come tax time. We did not understand the difference between short-term capital gains tax and long-term capital gains tax. So basically, very simply, if you hold any security, and that includes cryptocurrency, for less than a year, you are subjected to short-term capital gains tax. What does that mean? It basically means that any profit you get, you are going to be taxed at your regular taxable rate. So if you don't know what your personal income tax rate is, check your tax return from the previous year, get the number from there, and they have several charts online where you can kind of match up what your taxable income rate is. But we did not know that, okay? When we first started investing, and we dabbled into day trading and things like that, we would make a nice profit, but we did not set aside taxes, and we did not realize that we would be subjected to short-term capital gains tax. So that means if your taxable rate is, let's say, 30%, 28%, that is what you are going to have to pay tax on, okay, with that gain that you just made. But if you keep a security for a year or more, so if you are a buy and hold investor, you will only be subjected to long-term capital gains tax, which is 15%. So 15% off the bat is better than 30%, okay? And again, a lot of people don't understand these types of taxes when it comes to their money, and we didn't. A lot of people are day trading or even just holding securities for less than a year. So I know a lot of people made a lot of money with Dogecoin or things like that. They're not setting aside taxes. Remember, Webull, Robinhood, Interactive Brokers, Fidelity, Vanguard, and all of the major platforms always send statements to the IRS around tax time, and those brokerages and platforms are going to send you your tax forms as well. And you cannot file taxes until you receive all your forms in the mail. We had to pay $14,000 to the IRS. It hurt to pay money to the IRS. But again, now that we know about short-term and long-term and making sure we have money set aside, any of you that have YouTube channels, businesses, make sure it's always best. I tell people all the time, again, not financial advice. It's always best to have a little more set aside than not having enough set aside. So again, guys, and I can do a separate video on about taxes if you want me to, where we can really dive deep. So let me know in the description box below. So that's a fail for us, having to pay $14,000 to the IRS. And that's why I always say buy, hold, buy, hold, buy, hold, because you will only, when you go to use that money, unless you have a Roth, you will only have to pay 15%. And 15% is really, really, really better than whatever your current personal tax bracket is. So moving on to letting others influence our decisions and their fears. And this was a personal one for us, because when you grow up the way that we did, and investing or just money in general was not talked about, and it wasn't even looked at as something that could be positive. It was always some bad thing. Whenever you heard about money in general, it was always associated with this bad emotion, this bad feeling, this bad situation. And we were never really exposed to all the positives that can be attached to money when you actually use it correctly. And I'll tell you this, with investing, it was always viewed as gambling. Same with putting your money in the bank. And this is just how we grew up. Don't put your money in the bank. You don't want the man to get it, and they're going to steal your stuff. But people was breaking into homes stealing stuff too. So it was almost like, well, what do you do then in that situation? And what helped us to overcome it was knowledge. Again, I talk about that all the time. When you start to see people putting their money just in a bank, you'll start to realize that, okay, it wasn't so much that they were bad. Now, banks have issues, okay? It wasn't so much that they were bad, it was just the situation at the moment, and that person, that parent, that auntie, that uncle was just kind of expressing themselves. And I can tell you guys, we use several different types of banks. We have our investments in several different types of brokerages and platforms, and we will never, ever go back. Never. I mean, I can understand having, and your cash envelopes are fine, but I'm serious, hiding money under the bed, that stuff is real. Put money in a shoebox, that stuff is real, but people would steal it anyway. So it was like, I would rather have my money in the bank. That way you have to have a PIN number, and you have to have a photo ID to get my money. And so again, guys, you don't want to let others' bad experiences influence, because it'll cause you to fail so much financially. If we would have had a good head start, just at least with knowing about the different types of checking accounts, or maybe getting a good credit card and be responsible with it, maybe learning how to invest and save for a home or sinking funds, I truly believe that we would have had a much better start financially, especially in our marriage, than a lot of the fights and disagreements that we had, because we just didn't know. And that's why I'm so big, like I said, on teaching my children or our children about what money can do when you have the right approach to it. And then all of you, I'm sure you all have the same type of desire, if you have children or if you have nieces and nephews or organizations and charities that you are passionate about, so that you can leave something to them, so that you can give them a long-lasting legacy. I have a bonus financial fail for you guys, okay? This is pretty interesting, and this is something I still struggle with to this day, because look, nobody's perfect. So let me tell y'all about parking tickets, okay? Now, this is a financial fail, okay? So there is a dollar store that I like to go to. There's a Dollar Tree that I really enjoy going to, and they have the parking in front of the stores, and they have the meters right there. Well, I don't know if it's just me, and this is a quick side note. The quarters used to last an hour. Then they went down to 30 minutes. Now our meters are just 15 minutes a quarter. I'm like, seriously? Seriously. But I digress. I put the quarter in the machine, and I always lie to myself going into the store. I say, all right, I got 15 minutes. I'm going to get a basket. I'm going to stick to my list, and I'm going to get in and out of the store in 15 minutes. Why do I keep lying to myself, y'all? I need to get rid of that lying spirit. Because, and I do this with Target too, which is why I minimize the amount of trips that I make to these stores, because it's my weakness, okay? And so I'll go into the Dollar Tree with the basket, trying to, make sure I guard my heart. And before I know it, I got a cart, okay? So I got the basket in a cart, and I'm pushing it around, and I'm like, oh yeah, I got 5 minutes left. Seriously? I get to the checkout thing, pay for my thing, is at $60. I was supposed to be spending $5 and some change in this store. Get out to the car, got a ticket on the car. The tickets there are always $15, but $15 add up. And the funny thing is, it's not just me. It's several cars out there with tickets on them. And I know that guy, the guy who does the ticketing, that's a hot spot for him, because he already know, these women are in this Dollar Tree spending up all this money. They say they only gonna be 15 minutes. They not gonna be 15 minutes. And I can make some revenue here. So I just thought that was like a small humorous part of a financial fail. And my husband, every time I tell him, he'd be looking at me with a side eye like, why do you keep lying to yourself? Just put a whole dollar in the meter. And these meters don't have the ones where you can pay like with a credit card or anything like that. So you have to have quarters only. And so I'm just like, I'm working on it, y'all. I'm working on it. Pray for me, okay? But that's the video, guys. I really hope that you enjoyed that. Those were just some of our financial fails. Again, guys, nobody's perfect. You want to make sure that you try to just learn from your mistakes and just keep on keeping on, all right? Because there is a whole lot of growth ahead of us still. We are not our past. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. Leave me a comment down below. Again, guys, if you're not following me over on Instagram, information will be down below in the description box below. Again, thank you so much. And until next time, I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.